Podcast.
The PokeRamble Podcast is back with another episode, just solely focused on Pokemon Masters because there isn't much happening at the moment. Give it a couple of weeks, we'll have some more news, but for now, I have a special guest. Let's go on with the show. Yes, welcome to episode 51 of the PokeRamble Podcast. Let's think about Pokemon Masters updates. I hope you enjoyed that pun. I'm your host Kumail, and I'm joined by the one, the only, Mecha Shadow 12.
Kumail, thanks for having me. I do appreciate it.
It's been quite some time since we last had you on. Quite a long time, and since then you've grown so much in general, and also in the Pokemon Masters scene. But how the devil are you today?
I'm doing good. Over here in the States, it's Halloween. I took the kid out to get some trick-or-treating done. I actually posted on my Twitter a little variant version of Red that I came up with. So it's been fun. It's been a fun day.
Is that Mecha Shadow 12 on Twitter too?
Yes, and Mecha Shadow 12 everywhere, pretty much.
Just to introduce to the people, why don't you just tell them about your Pokemon history briefly?
Yes. So my Pokemon history is a little bit interesting. I started off Gen 1 Pokemon Blue and then Pokemon Yellow. I did Pokemon Silver. Like I said, I got I think it was 249 out of the 251 that was available back then.
Yeah.
But then I had stopped after that. And I didn't get back into Pokemon until the actual console games, until Pokemon Let's Go and then Pokemon Sword and Shield. And then definitely, like we're going to talk about today, Pokemon Masters.
The big one.
The big one, yeah.
So saying that then, so you've come back into the franchise. Are you looking forward to Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl in a couple of weeks?
It depends, because to me, it's a little bit odd for me because, with Pokemon Masters, we're getting a story of a lot of these trainers from different generations, different regions actually interacting with each other. It's going to be a little bit odd for me to go back to a place where different people haven't met yet, or you haven't met people at all.
Its own self-contained story rather than sort of the Masters verse.
Exactly.
I will say it's well worth it though. It is quite fun. Well, the original was quite fun. I have no doubt that this one's going to be. So if you do have the time, if you do have the throwaway money, because adulting is quite difficult, I'll definitely get it if I was you. But no, I'm so happy to hear that you're someone that's come back into the franchise, and so you're playing one of the best mobile games ever.
I mean, to me, I've sunk so much time into it. It's just I love it because the story is really fun.
Yeah.
The fact that you're one of the characters is always great, and you actually feel like a character. You're not just some random person. So I like it a lot.
I do like how there's so much artwork after the fact when new pairs get announced, and you just get to see these characters brought to life by people in very different ways and very different art styles. I also love that aspect. The fact that community gets involved with it as well. It's quite nice.
Oh yeah, there's some amazing people. I see you tweet a lot of retweets of different art, and I've been doing that as well. Literally, my background is
Odd Sky, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Literally, the background on my work computer is actually the face of every champion from every generation.
Yeah, nice. So you said you're familiar with the first generation. Welcome to episode Dugtrio, episode 51, Dugtrio. So we've got two versions of Dugtrio. We've got the original Dugtrio, and then we've got the Alolan Dugtrio. So, do you have any memories with Dugtrio at all?
Of course. Dugtrio. I mean, the good thing about Dugtrio was, especially back in Pokemon Blue, is that once you got to the third city, was it Vermilion? Yeah, and you were able to actually try to get a level 30 Dugtrio way before you're supposed to have a level 30 Pokemon.
Yeah.
And then he was good for the rest of the game. He came with Dig. He was super fast. It was a very good Pokemon to have, especially back then, especially early on when you're first starting your Pokemon journey.
And what about the Alolan version? Did you interact with that one in Sword and Shield?
Not so much in Sword and
No.
Shield, but I believe you were able to get a version of it in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, because there
Yes.
was always that one trainer was like, "Hey, I have the Alolan version of this, but I don't have the Kanto version. Do you want to trade?" So I was able to get those variations, and I think I have one in Pokemon Go.
Hmm.
With the long flowing hair blowing in the breeze and everything like that.
It looks like it's like in a
Um,
band, you know.
exactly,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. And it's good because I believe it becomes ground and steel.
Hmm.
So I mean that's good. Like I said, I think the lowland versions as a whole are always fun because one, it's a spin off which you already know, and then two, it gives like crazy types pretty much. Like Geodude is like what was it, like steel and electric,
I
or
think
and
it was
then
electric rock. Rock
electric
electric,
rock, and
yeah.
then they had that cool mustache. So that's
Yeah,
always a plus.
yeah. I mean, one of my favorite things about Dugtrio, the original one anyway, is the fact that it's got this ability called Arena Trap. And so, like, if you're battling competitively and someone brings out a steel type and they're not suspecting it, you just bring out your Dugtrio, and then the steel type can't go anywhere. You just basically knock it out. It's pretty fun. Um, it did get banned with Smogon Arena Trap because it was like just so easy
Powerful.
to use. Yeah, just so powerful to use. So yeah, poor Dugtrio. But what I do like about the Alolan Dugtrio is their ability. It shares with Diglett, which is tangled hair. I think it's tangled hair or tangled web, one of
Mhm.
those. But if you like hit the Pokemon, you slow down because you get trapped in this hair. It's just
Oh
quite
wow!
funny. Yeah, quite funny. But yeah, that's episode Dugtrio. Should we get on to the main part of the show?
Of course.
Let's do it. Let's. So you want to be a Pokemon Masters? Yes, it's the Pokemon Masters part of the show. So before we go into what we'll be looking at, and I've shared my screen by the way if you haven't got the link already, but we will be looking through the message, volume 26 from the Pokemon Masters developers, and just seeing what's being updated and whatnot. And later on we'll look at Diantha, who's one of the 4 sync pairs that are going to be available to scout for. So yeah, Pokemon Masters, how's it going for you?
Right now, like I said, Pokemon Masters is better than ever. It keeps improving. As I said in the last time I was as a guest here, is that I've been playing Pokemon Masters since the beginning. I officially retired for like 2-3 months, and then I ran into you and Amit, and then you made me more or less evolve in my Pokemon Masters
Oh, very nice.
and my Pokemon Masters knowledge, so it let me like look at the game differently, play the game differently, and it made it a lot more fun. And to be honest, a little bit easier because I had friends to ask questions. Because I remember when first the Champions League first came out, I was just like, I need help. I don't know how to do this. It's so hard.
Yeah, I remember you screenshotting your team, and then I'm just going on to my sync pairs, and I start resetting their grids and everything, trying to replicate what you had. And I did a few test runs. I'm like, yes, we've cracked it. And then I was so happy to see that you finally managed to get to the 7,500 mark for most of it. And yeah, it's just so satisfying once you finally do get to that 7,500 mark. You know, after you sort of understand the mechanics of it, it's quite easy, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. 'Cause it's like you start looking at your sync pairs differently. You're like, okay, cool. Instead of it just being, all right, I have my sync nuke Charizard with Sunny Day and used it in every match and everything like that. And it's like, okay, now you need to have 5 separate teams. You can't just use that. You rely on the same team over and over
Mm,
again. And then it's like, okay, cool. This one I might do a stall tactic with poison. This one I might use status effects, and then like weather updates with like rainy day, that kind of stuff. It really opens up the game because there's so many different pairs that can do so many different things.
yeah.
And the fact that it's not just you as a Pokemon trainer, it's you with one pair and then more or less two of your like, quote unquote teammates, friends, all in one battle together makes like lots of various possibilities.
Yeah, yeah, totally. I mean, I did have some fun. I think it was either this week or last week where I usually just use May and Archie because rain just destroys everything. And this
Yep,
time I was like,
yep.
I'll use Suit Grimsy because you know what, I don't use him enough, and Yeah, that was an experience. It was an experience, but we managed to get
Oh,
through
I
it.
can imagine.
Yeah, the dude literally, his trainer move just basically like gives him loads of stats, but like cuts his health to like 10%. So if you don't use Dawn's healing move, like you're stuck at 10%, and one AOE is going to take you out quite easily
Yeah.
because it's quite fragile. But yeah, no, that's so yeah, it's good. It's good to know that you're still playing the game and you're still enthusiastic as ever. And I've got someone to talk to about it, so that's another bonus for me. And talking about the game, so let's look at the volume 26 letter that we got a few days ago. So let's start with the shop update. So apparently they've added new gem options, as well as daily, weekly, and monthly categories, which apparently is starting today, 11 p.m. PST. So we don't know it at time of recording, but hopefully it's something interesting. It says here, each category offers items that you can obtain at no cost. So I don't know what that means. Does it mean that you pay, X amount for like the gems, but they come with free items, or is it like completely free items that you can just get every day for something? I don't know. That sounds promising, but it's just too vague to sort of make out what it'll actually be until we see it tomorrow. So, or today in your case. So there's not too much to say about that.
Yeah, I think more or less, like I said, it's more of a wait and see. But it could just be that they're trying to get it where it's like as of right now, and then we'll speak about this a little bit more later in the update email. But we have all these new sync pairs coming out within the next 2 or 3 weeks. People might need some of those evolutionary items and like some of those codec books. So maybe they're trying to make it so it's like, okay, if you want to pull for these gems, but not actually have to try to grind day after day for some of these books and codex and items. If you're gonna buy the gems anyway, we'll throw in some of the items as well.
Okay,
That
yeah,
way,
yeah.
more people will buy the items. Be like, all right, cool. Now I can just ex my parry. As you know, not a lot of people know this in the listener viewership, but have a lot of ex pairs in Pokemon Masters. I have a very ex centric way of looking at the game. So
Specifically, you're looking for 18 strike EX pairs, basically of each
more or less,
type. Yeah.
more or less, and I'm almost there. I'm getting there. I recently got Bay as my fighting.
Yeah,
So
I EX bind as well.
yeah, I'm slowly getting there. Just because I find it's easier in the Champions League stuff.
Champions Stadium.
Being in
I know you
Summer
said,
State is
yeah.
part.
I do like the
I,
Champions League. I actually made a YouTube video when Gen 8 was coming out of like, the glass stadiums actually being like the Champions League. Stuff like that. So it always
yeah.
makes me smile when you say Champions League. It should have been called Champions League, but
I mean,
yeah.
to me, it is Champions League when you
Yeah.
think about
We'll
it.
just call it
It
Champions League.
changed.
Yeah, like
I mean,
commenters, please know that we know it's Champions Stadium, but Champions League is a better name, and therefore we shall call it Champions League.
yeah, because the thing is, Kumail and I are we both love football.
Mhm.
Obviously, I don't watch it as much as Kumail does, but I'm still a fan.
That's
I
because you
still
value
love the
your
sport.
health and your time.
Yeah, yeah. But that's the reason why I always call it the Champions League because, like I said, my dad loves football, so he's always talking about the Champions League
Mhm.
and Real Madrid. Okay, that's not Pokemon related, but more or less, I think what's going on with the items is that they're making it so people are buying items. They're gonna want to, pull for some of these cool pairs that are coming out, these awesome costumes. Let's give them the items so they can make sure they can power them up. That way, they'll be like, okay, cool. Now I don't have to grind for these items. I can spend my time somewhere else.
Yeah. They do say a training bundle is a special set of gems that comes with bonus items for training sync pairs. So it's that idea of what you just said, but I'd say if you're like day 1 or 2 of the game and you haven't got the patience, just if you want to, fine, go for it. But I think with yourself and Namit, when he came back to the game and started from scratch, he found that he didn't need to get all this stuff. He could just grind it for free, and like over time he built up his pairs, and in no time he was able to clear like end game content. So I wouldn't say it's something that you need to buy necessarily, the training bundles. So save your real life money if you can, but it's up to you at the end of the day.
Buy Pokemon cards instead.
Yeah. God, that's another drug. So they also say, also the items that were available in the egg research items section of the shop have been integrated to the purchase bundles menu. included in the purchase bundles menu and daily bundles. God, my mouth. Newly added training bundles for each role and more. So I haven't quite looked at that yet. I don't even know if they're actually there. I think it might be tomorrow when it's coming out. But yeah, well, I've never bought anything egg related because what's the point? It's just a lot of money for nothing. Well, one more egg hatch, and look, these events will come around again, so there's no point, worrying about our RNG too much. So again, don't worry about the egg stuff. Just leave it.
Yeah, I still haven't gotten any shinies from this recent egg event, and usually I get all the shinies.
Yeah, so yeah, don't worry about it. It'll come back. We'll go down to the next bit. Background music changes for sync pair scouts screens. So usually you should just have the default and now they've changed it to music that links to the sync pair. So the Halloween pairs have got the Halloween music. We've got the special costume music at the moment for the Diantha's screen. And Alice has got the Galar music. I mean, it's a nice subtle touch. And it does make a little bit of a difference by making those little scout screens a little bit more personalized. So a nice little touch that they've added. Have you got any sort of comment on that, or?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, because I mean, it obviously it's there to make you want to buy the pair. Obviously, but like to me, it has a little bit more characters. Like you said, it was the same music for every screen. So and like that music can get a little wearing after a while.
Yeah, especially on the scout streams when I'm like 18 minutes in and I'm hearing yeah. Give me the banger Galar music, man. Give me that Jenny goodness.
The Galar music is just, and like I said, going back to football, it literally feels like you're in a stadium.
Yes.
You hear that music and it's so hype.
Yeah.
And you're hearing the crowd. I mean, that's one of the reasons, a lot of people give Sword and Shield a lot of negative reviews in terms of the overall experience. But, as someone who loves, football, loves the idea of battling in a stadium with all these people. I mean, imagine your first Pokemon experience being Pokemon Sword and Shield, and you're this kid and you're trying to get you're trying to level up, you're trying to become the champion, then you go into this huge stadium, everyone's cheering for you, and then the gym trainers on their last Pokemon, and it gets hyped up, and the crowd's cheering, and it makes you feel nice. And I like to hear that kind of stuff. Even just like looking at the pairs, it's like, oh, okay, maybe I do want to get this pair. I love the theme, I love the trainer. It's a cool little touch because the music in Pokemon Masters is amazing. Let's hear more of it.
I couldn't agree more. And just to touch on your point about Sword and Shield, I think people have a tendency to look at things in binary where it's good or it's bad. Whilst a rational person like yourself or myself can be like, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, but this is pretty good. That's awesome. I really like this. It doesn't. Not everything has to be bad or good. You can have good points and bad points about something. So yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I mean, I've seen so much talk about Gen 8 on my timeline, and I don't even bother engaging with it because I'm like, hey, if you want to shit on something and not look at the positives of it, that's up to you. But I don't know how we even got here.
Yeah, not everything has to be Pokemon Black and White. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, nice. I didn't even think of it. Nice. Another change that, frankly, is just shocking it hasn't come sooner is the battle speed change for co-op. So basically, co-op matches are a lot more quicker now. I can understand why it's so slow when you've got 3 people involved in a co-op match, but now they've kind of made it faster. They've sort of made animations shorter as well, so that's just a good change overall. So it'll make grinding quite easy when you're getting gears.
Oh yeah, I was happy to see this. I mean, I've gotten to a point where I can do the co-op stuff if whenever possible by myself with my own team, so I have enough pairs to like type advantage and everything like that. But when when it comes to grinding those 3-star gear sets, it does take a long time to do, unfortunately, because one, you have to make sure that you're playing with people to make it faster. But two, like I said, those animations take forever, and it's like night and day when you're playing it by yourself.
Yeah,
and it's just like it's not fun. But so like I said, I'm happy they brought that they fixed that.
I don't know if you remember the original sort of co-op battles when the game first came out, but my god, you had to be precise.
Oh, yeah.
You had to be precise to the second of people, and like you would have to be on Discord and be like, all right, turn 1 I'm doing this, turn 2 do this, turn 3, and if someone messes up you have to restart the whole battle because you'd lose. It was actually ridiculous back in the day.
Yeah, I remember those
Yeah.
those co-op villa ones, and not the co-op villas, but like it was that you do that just to get the material, just to upgrade your gear and everything like that. And it's like, okay, I guess today I'm going to try for fire stuff, and hopefully I get some stuff.
Yeah. Well, thankfully they changed it, and now things are faster than ever. So we'll move on to the biggest thing, I guess, is the costume event, the War Games. Ooh. So this time, 4 sync pairs and special costumes will be appearing. I'll just quickly pull up an image of them. So we have, let me minimize this. We have Hilda dressed like Diantha. So Diantha's her sync pair. We have Diantha, who has Keldeo Resolute form as her sync pair. We've got your boy Guzma with Buzzwole as his sync pair or Pokemon. And you've got Jasmine with Celesteela as her sync pair. So we've got some really cool designs and some very cool choices. I mean, for Guzma and Jasmine, I think the Pokemon fit them. But I think there's been a lot of people talking about or surprised by, Hilda, sort of the tomboyish one, having, the fairy type, and Diantha, who has a fairy type as a mega Pokemon in the main games, having a Keldeo dressed as a warrior. But I think it's a pretty nice touch. I think it's quite intentional that they've done this. What do you think?
I think it's good. I think, like I said, changing it up. The whole thing with Pokemon Masters is the ability to change it up, While the stories themselves are technically part of the same universe, and these characters are from the same universe of the games, you have the ability with this new island to do whatever you want, more or less, interact with people you never interact with, new pairs, the Sigma Suit pairs, which was always cool to see because it shows the seriousness of some of the trainers. Everything about Pokemon Masters when it comes to the story, I love because it gives so much more characterization. It gives so much more context to a lot of the stuff. Like I remember the first time they showed Silver getting Ho-Oh as their sync pair because he's been, so struggling with his father, being Giovanni, and then him being, a thief, and then changing that up and trying to become a true trainer. It's nice to see. It's one of those feel good stories, pretty much.
Yeah.
So to see all these new costumes and these new pairs, I do have a little bit of a grievance with Hilda because, like you said, she's more of a tomboy, and there's nothing wrong with tomboys dressing up or like anyone changing their style or anything like that, but it's a little bit odd because it's like you would think she'd have some cool armor like Diantha does as well.
Well, here's to the point. So I think what's his face? Christ, I said what's his face? Lear was saying that he's got a special motif for this Wars event, and it seems like they've gone for Eastern versus Western. So obviously you've got Jasmine with her yukata, and then you've got Guzma with the samurai armor. So he's protecting, Jasmine, and then you've got Diantha in the knight in shining armor, sort of like Arthurian sort of get up. If you watch the Fate series, and basically Saber, and then you've got Hilda being the princess in the So I think that's what they were kind of going for, and like you said, I mean. The Pasio verse is his own universe, but obviously, like you said, these characters have been inspired from their own games and their own regions. But I think this gives credence to the fact that they may have like traveled to different regions and experienced different things or interacted with different Pokemon. So it's nice that we get these opened up possibilities, because I think the game would be a bit stale if everything was just strict or to the point. I think like you said, this is Pasio. People interact with each other, things change, and this is just a good example of that. So I think it's really cool that this is a new sort of event we're going. And who knows, we might get more like costume events with different pairs and stuff like that, and different themes. It's going to end up being like Splatoon, isn't it? you know how they had that like 50 battles every other
Oh
week.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it seems like, and
Yeah.
it's interesting. Like I said, I'm always down for new pairs with new types and new costumes. Like I said, because I love I'm learning so much about different generations from this game
Mhm.
and how and the plus the fact that like different people from different generations are like, oh man, that's Cynthia, she's super awesome. And then, it's like, oh my god, that's Lance. Everyone knows about Lance.
Yeah.
And then the fact that
They
other regions
they
know
literally
about each other.
have a like a whole story about like people like debating who's the better out of the two. Is it Lance or is it
Yeah.
Cynthia? I love that. I love that so much. But yeah, we'll talk about Diantha and Keldeo a little bit later as we go through the rest of the news from the update. But is there anything you want to say?
No, I'm thinking about, like I said, I'm waiting to see what the next data mine is.
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking that Diantha, you know how we have Archie and then we have the May combo
Mm-hmm.
with the water type, and then May is strong, but she's a single hit
Oh, you
with her
mean tech
sync and
pair?
everything like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I was thinking about using Diana, maybe pulling on Diantha a little bit because using her with Bay and then Kobian, I don't know if I'm saying that the right
Cobalion,
way.
yeah,
The
yeah.
one Kobalion, to have the three, fighting types in one um, battle, and then having just two strong strikers, even
Mm-hmm.
though Diantha is not technically a striker. Um,
I
I'm
mean,
thinking
she can
about it.
do yeah I'll come on to the facts and the figures soon. But
Yeah.
yeah, so it's a good idea. The next bit of the newsletter says the next chapter of the villain arc is going to be coming at the beginning of next year, so around January. And it says the next chapter of the villain arc will feature an organization whose boss has a fated connection to a particular sync pair. Now, there's a few theories of who this might be, but the fact it says fated connection, it leaves open a lot of possibilities. Could it be Giovanni again with, like you said, Silva? Could it be Anne and Getsis again? You know, is it Rose and Leon? I guess. Uh, who knows? Have you got any sort of theories?
I don't know if so much of a theory, but I do want there to be something new between Silver and Giovanni
Mm.
because that was addressed just a tiny bit during the first Giovanni like story at the end where he's like talking to him a little bit and then he leaves. Um, I want there to be some type of story. I mean, like I said, if they're going generation route, the next one would be Johto, which hopefully is a silver. Ethan, Lyra, like that kind of connection.
Mm.
I would want that because, like I said, it's interesting to see now that you have all these evil organizations in one place, ones that are like technically fighting on your team and ones that are not. Like literally, Giovanni is on your team, but yet you're fighting against them at the same time.
Yeah.
I would love to see more story with Silver because I think like I used to hate him as a character because that's the way he was made to be
Hmm.
until the end of the game. Um, and then now I like him because he's like, I messed up. I'm trying to become the strong trainer. He doesn't believe in himself. He gets Ho, and Ho is a really strong sync pair. And he's trying his best. And I want to see him have some type of closure or interaction with his father and just to see what that could be because Giovanni's here. He's trying to start something and I mean there's
He's always
way
scheming.
he's always scheming. He's always scheming and I want to see what it's there, especially with the last story where more or less it was red and blue trying to take down Giovanni with these new pairs and everything like that. It's pretty interesting.
Next thing is Pokemon Masters Day every 25th. So it's in honor of Pikachu's Pokedex number 25. And the next, the first one ever is going to be this coming month on the 25th of November. Now they say that we'll have a variety of rallies and other things prepared as a sign of appreciation for your support. I've heard a rumor, right? And this is just a rumor that apparently you'll get 10 pull or 11 pull for 25 gems as a celebration.
Interesting.
Yeah, that would be insane. Can you imagine? Oh, I can't wait. Yeah,
I'm
sounds
always down to pull
yeah.
on pairs. You know me.
I'm glad you finished that with pairs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well.
it's just I mean this game's been great for a few months now at giving gems. I mean this month we
Yeah.
got a total of I think around 18 to 19k free gems. Which is amazing. So yeah, they keep doing good
I,
stuff and nice to
I
see.
like it too because it's we have some people in the Discord, some newer people who are like asking who should they sync on or who should they update and who should they just pull on. And it's good that there's so many gems out there for them to get so they can start their journey pretty much.
Hmm.
It's good for the overall. Like I said, Pokemon Masters, and I know this. A lot of people say this about Final Fantasy and Destiny. And it's like this is the perfect time to jump into this game because blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But it really is. They're always rerunning stories. They're always
Well,
rerunning
actually,
events.
just I'm going to slice into that right now because you've just said there in the future updates section of this newsletter it says play legendary event at any time. Now, the legendary sync pairs in this game are absurdly good. Like they're really good. Like Sycamore, for example, is just like one of the best sync pairs of all time in this game, and going forward, you'll always have access to them, so you don't even have to wait for a rerun. You can just get them straight away, and it's ridiculous that they're doing something like this. Like I said, this is the best time to start. It literally is.
And those legendary events, they're free, and that's the best thing. You don't have to put in your own money. You don't necessarily have to grind. You can grind all the power ups and stuff in the event itself. I mean, I remember we were telling one of the members in the Discord about, hey, you make sure you pull on this Mewtwo one because Mewtwo is insanely powerful, and he's even more powerful now that you can EX it finally,
He's
and it has a
legitimately
grid. Yeah.
maybe the strongest pair in the game, and he's been free from the very well, not the start of the game, but a few months into the game. He was like a free pair when he first joined. So like, it's yeah, like start, and like now that you'll have access to like those pairs at any time, it'll make your life so much easier when you're trying to do the higher level end content. So yeah,
Yeah, that in the battle villa. Yeah.
that's one of the new updates. Another one is going to be skip function for the battle villa. I'm not too sure why you do this because getting the cookies, even the bronze ones, are pretty good. So I wouldn't bother skipping it. I'd probably go through it if I was you. It doesn't even take you that long in the early stages. But yeah, that's coming to the game. So again, I can't fathom why you would skip bonus rewards. But hey, as long as you're playing the game, I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
said everyone plays the game for different reasons. Like I
Mhm.
said, we're at a level that we are doing, master mode and the Champions League and Champion Stadium. But not everyone's there, not everyone is doing that. Some people some people are there just for the story, which is really fun, and they're literally updating the story as we speak. Some people are just hey, I want to collect my favorites. I love Lance. I want to make sure I get that cool Lance where he's wearing the kimono, that kind of stuff. So it's like the game has so many different reasons to play it. The fact that they're giving you different ways to play it is good. It's always good.
We'll move on to other updates. So other updates planned for late November include one which will allow you to see the names of each character's voice actor in the sync pair viewing mode when the game's language is set to Japanese. So that's cool. I mean, there's like every time we like get a new sync pair, I'm like, oh, who's the voice actor for this one? Do I recognize them? Are they from this anime, that anime, all that kind of stuff? So that's pretty cool. Also, an item that can help you hatch eggs more efficiently will be available. I wonder if this is like auto set where you don't have to log in after 12 hours and then set new eggs. Maybe it'll just like set them for you once your current eggs have hatched. So I wonder if that's the egg item. Have you got any sort of theories as to what that would be? Or
Oh, I was thinking maybe it could be like in the game where you have like those heating items that make the egg hatch faster, maybe.
oh, I see.
But I mean, it's already in an incubator, so I don't know how that would work
Mm,
necessarily. your theory is probably a little bit more spot on. But I mean, that would be good because I know that during egg events, I'm logging in more because I can't use stamina during most of the time once
Yeah.
you play it, but then you're going back to either get more eggs or trade in your eggs. So any way to make that easier so I can get more shiny Pokemon, the better.
So talking about things being easy, we've also we've also been receiving feedback that some players, that sorry, not some players, that while sync pairs have been getting stronger, battles have been getting easier. Which obviously, yeah, like I think Battle Villa maybe started at level 125 or level 130, and our sync pairs can go to like level 140. So obviously, there's never been like a balanced redress to that. So they're saying that they're going to raise the maximum number of points that can be earned in Master Mode in Champion Stadium, and add additional rewards. So like, no longer are we going to be looking for 2,500s. It might be 3,000s from now on. So we'll see. But that's pretty cool. That but they're going to be adding more rewards to Champion Stadium and making things a little bit more interesting for us, and having us have to test a bit more with what sort of multipliers we want to use and whatnot. And also they're going to be preparing a new high difficulty event content that's separate from the Champion Stadium, so more content, yay.
Well, content's always good.
Yeah, exactly. And they say the master mode point adjustment is scheduled to come in late November at the earliest, and the higher difficulty event content is planned to come next year. So we're going to have to wait a little bit, but to know that they've sort of taken feedback on the sort of game getting a bit more easier now that our pairs are like level 140 at this point, it's pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, because I mean, it's definitely a lot more noticeable in the Battle Villa compared to the Champion Stadium. Because even now, sometimes you do have certain new um regions. They'll have Pokemon with different things that might be a little. You have to like think about it again
Red
instead
just
of just
made the Battle Villa like a joke, like new Red.
yeah.
Like I said, no, I didn't even have to reset the game once. It was literally just from start to finish. Never had to do like any resets. Never had to use any items. He just literally destroys the Battle Villa. So it's nice to know that we're going to have like added difficulty to things.
Yeah, what I would love to do, I'd love to have is to replay some of the um story content on like a master mode setting because once you got to the actual like battles, like the final battles,
Mm-hmm.
if those pairs were at 140 and then in master mode, they'd actually be pretty hard because I remember
Yeah,
playing.
with a bit of AI
Yeah,
changes, tweaks. Yeah.
it would be because I mean some of them are like, okay, you're fighting Cynthia now, and Cynthia's insane, and now, okay, now you're going against the original Kanto trio, and like their sync pairs are, they meld so well with each other. Can you imagine fighting them on a master mode setting? It'd be kind of scary, but it'd actually be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And the next message, of course, is due in late November, so around the 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, around then. So yeah, a good beefy update from the Pokemon Masters team. Yeah, that was pretty good. Looking pretty promising for the future at the moment.
Oh yeah, like I said, Pokemon Master. Like I said, it's great. It's a great time to jump in. Got so much content available just to play right now. You still have a full year of story to play through, which is great. And you unlock so many actually pretty decent pairs throughout the story.
Mm-hmm.
And then nowadays, like they're just throwing gems at you so you can actually pull on certain things. And pairs nowadays, to be honest, are a lot better than they were a year ago. So you're technically not missing a lot, especially now that they're gonna let you do every legendary event whenever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, it's great. Like we've seen already with some people in the Discord. It's just like people are like, "Oh man, I pulled Red Snorlax. It's so awesome." And it's like, "Yo, that's like one of the strongest pairs. That's awesome. Now you can like do so much content without having to worry about it."
Yeah. Yeah. Talking about pulling for pairs, let's look at Diantha and Keldeo. So Diantha and Keldeo are a tech fighting pair. Their special attack is absurd. It's 434. and their speed is 350. So that's their two defining stats. Their special attack and speed, and just really really good for both of those. Talking about moves, you got Secret Sword, which deals damage based on the target's defense rather than special defense, which is pretty cool tech. Aura Sphere, which is fine, it's just a 2-bar move. I can't see yourself ever using it really. You will always want to be using Secret Sword. You've got Move Gauge Boost, which is just an absolute waste of a slot. So yeah, again, you'd never be using this at all. You always want to be using Secret Sword. Even if you're running like a 2-striker team, you want to use someone with like Move Gauge Acceleration rather than Move Gauge Boost. So yeah, just a waste of a move. And the last one is Strike True, which is the trainer move, which raises the user's special attack by 4 stats and raises the critical hit rate by 3 ranks, which is max, and applies the gradual healing effect to the user, which is just absolutely brilliant. So self-sufficient. After 1 turn, you're pretty much just unstoppable, really. Sync move wise, deals damage based on the target's defense rather than special defense. The more the user's defense is raised, the greater the power of this move. So that's pretty good. And then your passives are Armor Leech, Mind Leech, and Speed Leech 9, which basically means that every attack you hit is going to drain the opponent's defense, special defense, and speed, and then you'll gain it instead. So basically every turn you're gaining one defense, 1 special defense, and 1 speed, which is just unbelievably good. So Mr. Mecha Shadow, what do you think of the sort of get-up of this pair?
I think it's good. I mean, it's a good fighting pair. See, now the thing is, anytime I look at a pair, I look at it a little bit differently than most because I'm looking at it in terms of a champion's stadium aspect of it, because I'm thinking, okay, cool. This is definitely going to be good for any fighting pairs, matchups. But like the passives, I don't know if they're going to work because, I always run like the status condition stuff, as well as you can't lower the opponent's stats, everything like that. So I don't know if that's going to be viable for me personally, but I mean, in every other battle that you play, it's going to be amazing. So it's that's why I always look at it in terms of the champion stadium type stuff. So I don't know. Like I said, I might pull on Diantha just because it'd be good to have another the actual pair to go with my Bay, as in terms of like an Archie May type of combo, but for fighting. But we're gonna have to see. Like I said, this pair is available until, I think, when I saw it was like into December. So we still have time to see if we want to pull on Diantha or not.
Well, I will say she's going to be the top tier fighting sync pair in the game. At 1 out of 5, maybe not so. She's still comparable to B and comparable to Wally. So even at 1 out of 5, she's really good. But where she really shines is our top her sync grid. Is at 3 out of 5, where you're picking up 2 sync nodes, which brings up your sync to another 50 plus damage. Brute Wits, which the more your special defense is raised, the more it powers up sync move. Also, Tough Cookie, the more your defense is raised, the more like your moves do damage. So things like Secret Sword is going to get a boost from it. It's got Inertia as well, which again just powers up your sync move. You got Secret Sword Move Gauge Refresh 3, so a 40% chance of like you getting 1 move gauge back. And like just having so many multipliers in its grid that all like kind of synergize with its passives of Armor Leech, Mind Leech, Speed Leech. It's actually ridiculous, and there's some like calcs run on this pair, and it's not even funny how much damage it does. Like it's crazy. Like Secret Sword, after like -3 stats on all on the sync pair you're attacking, basically does more than B does, and like that's just normal like 0 out of 20, sort of 3 out of 5. Also in terms of sync damage, it just obliterates anything that we've gotten in this game in terms of fighting pairs. Like it does way more than B, does way more than Wally, way more than another sync pair that is still not been released just yet, so I won't talk about it. But yeah, it's just her sync move is just absurdly good, And I think if you don't have Wally and you don't have B, and you like the look of Diantha and Keldeo, and you've got plenty of gens to play with, I'd say probably pull for her because she's really good. It's a shame that she's on the seasonal banner, where it's only a 7% chance to get a 5-star, which is still pretty good in terms of a gacha game. But what we're used to with Pokemon Masters, with the Pokefairs and stuff like that, it's just, yeah, no. It's a shame that she's a seasonal pair, but she's a really good seasonal pair if you want to pick her up. Anything else I need to say? No, not really. I mean, you were saying about Champion Stadium. I mean, here's the thing though. You could easily take out that that modifier where you stop the opposing sync pairs from losing stats and put another one on.
Yeah.
And this sync pair will, with its sync move at 3 out of 5, will absolutely just knock out the boss Pokemon in one hit easily. Even like off type, this will do a lot of damage. So
man,
yeah,
you're making me think.
You're
making me think,
man. Like you were saying about like a secondary sync pair. This sync pair is perfect to put as like a secondary striker. Where you can have both B and Keldeo doing damage together, or just using Keldeo to like debuff your opponents with Aura Sphere, for example.
Yeah.
So like yeah, I don't know.
Man.
It's a really good sync pair, I'd say. It's a really, really solid sync pair.
You know what you're gonna see later on in the Discord, either tonight or tomorrow.
No.
See me with my EX screenshot.
But like you said, there's no rush at the moment. We're quite covered with B, me and you, so there's no rush. Let's just see what's coming. We might get some nice, cool Christmas, sync pairs.
I'm still looking for my dark EX pair.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get. I'm hoping that that little hint of Grimsley in a new
story
outfit, that might be a good
fun fact. He showed up in Sun and Moon, and then that's what he looked like in Sun and Moon, that outfit. We're like, why are you here? Like, why are you here? He just like turns up out of nowhere. It's like, what's up?
To be honest, I think that certain people just love certain pairs. I mean, like think about how many times Cynthia has appeared in different generations. And that's insane, because I remember talking in a different Discord about Pokemon, and they were talking about Cynthia, and they were just like, I mean, like, and they're like, Cynthia's been in so many games already. Everyone knows Cynthia because she's been in so many games. You don't have to necessarily play the original game with her appearance to know who Cynthia is, which is cool. I kind of wish they did that more often in the games, because then it's like, oh, maybe I'll go back to play that game because she has a bigger role in that game.
Yeah, I think Sun and Moon did a really good job of that, where there's a lot of characters from past generations that just popped up all over the gaff for no reason. Gen 4 as well was actually pretty good, because actually Jasmine turns up in Gen 4. That's pretty cool. But yeah, no, that's it for the Pokemon Masters news. Have you got anything that you want to say before I move sections?
No. It's a great time to get into Masters. There's so many things to do, so many Pokemon to get.
It's a whole new region for you to do.
Exactly. So like I said, just try it out. It's free. It's a free game. What's the harm of playing a free game, especially with so many games out there nowadays that are not free.
It's all free real estate. All right, I'll move on to the next section. This section is called Merch to Do About Nothing. So yeah, we've just two pieces of news really. The Pokemon Center from next month is going to be releasing its Sinnoh plush line, and so there'll be like 130 odd plushes for you to collect if you want. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Gen 4 plushes for the win. And the other really cool thing is there's going to be a fainted Pokemon line where you've just got different Pokemon with like dizzy eyes, like Spinder, for example, being sold. So you've got one of Snorlax, one of Gengar, one of Togekiss, one of Pikachu, obviously, and obviously Spinder has to be there. So that's a nice little cool line that's coming to the Pokemon Center as well. So if you like merchandise, yeah, go for it. Mecha, what's the coolest piece of merch that you've got?
Me personally, let's see. I mean, I love my Ash Ketchum hat. That's I don't know if that's an official merch item or not. It probably isn't.
Hey, but look,
Um,
it's all perfectly legal.
it's all perfectly legal. I do have some interesting Pokemon shirts. Like I get like today I have my Pokemon shirt where it's Charmander. It's a red shirt with a Pokeball, but inside the Pokeball is like a little like kind of like a little apartment living area, and there's
Hmm.
Charmander living in
So
the
one of those like
Pokeball.
terraniums.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I think that's one of my favorites because one, everyone loves Charmander. So it's always everyone recognizes it, like, oh my god, it's a cute shirt. And it just looks cool. It's like it's a different take on just Pokemon, the whole idea of what exactly is in a Pokeball.
Mm. Can I just say, if you were like a Pokemon NPC, you'd definitely be the fisher. Because I see you fishing for them compliments. I see you.
Hey, I mean, water Pokemon are fine, and then the whole metaphor of Magikarp turning into a Gyarados,
Mm.
it's not lost. It's not lost on me. Let's just say that.
Speaking of Charmander, we'll move on to our next section. So we had a global competition for VGC, and the winner was announced today. His name is Leonardo Bonanomis from Italy, and he won. And in celebration of that, they're giving away his Charizard that he used. Now his team was pretty cool. He had a Charizard, he had a Venusaur, he had a Regieleki, and then obviously his Groudon as well. Put in the finest work. I think he had an Umbreon too. I'm not 100% sure, but I saw a couple of games of his and he was so good. And actually, I wonder why he didn't have the Venusaur instead as his signature Pokemon, because I think that put in more work than the Charizard did. But hey, that's not the point. The point is you can redeem yourself one of his special Charizards by going into the game, going to Mystery Gift, and entering the code Global Champ 2021, and the O is replaced by a 0. So Global Champ 2021 with a 0. So you can get that. That's pretty cool. And also, people have been screaming out for some platinum content. They wanted some platinum content from the remakes. Well, guess what, guys? You've got platinum content. You'll be getting Lucas and Dawn's platinum outfits in the remakes. So yeah, you've got platinum content now. No more complaining. I can't believe we're getting the outfits and nothing else. But these are faithful remakes with added, sort of like not UI. What's it called? Ease of life. Ease of life
Oh no,
changes. What do they call it? I'm blanking on
change
it.
of life. No, I know what you're trying to say.
Quality of
Yeah,
life changes. There we go.
quality of life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we are. So yeah, you get the platinum outfits when you get the game. Pretty cool.
I mean, the whole idea of the fact that you win the champions, an actual like competition for Pokemon, and then your main Pokemon is available to everybody is pretty insane. You're
Mhm.
literally immortalized in a game,
Yeah, it's
and
amazing.
someone's gonna have that Charizard for the
Yeah,
rest of their life,
I think
and that
it was Sejun Park who had a Pachirisu years back. This is years back, and like everyone's wondering why the hell is he running? Why are you running a Pachirisu in a global competition? And he won, and then his Pachirisu was given away as a gift in games. Like like you said, it's one of the coolest things in the world.
I mean, it's pretty much kind of like how in Sword and Shield that Leon gives you a Charmander at the end of the game that can Dynamax and stuff. It's kind of like, hey, you've seen a Charizard Dynamax from Leon. Now you can have your own. It's pretty much like that. It's
Yeah.
the idea of someone being a real life Pokemon champion, and now you can have their Pokemon and play with it.
One of my other favorite sort of examples of that is in Oras we got Stevens Beldum, and Stevens Beldum was a shiny Beldum, and you got that for free at the beginning of the game as a mystery gift. I mean that's a really cool example of that. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
pretty cool news. We got a free Charizard, and we're getting some platinum clothes in the Diamond and Pearl remakes.
Well, pretty good. I mean, hey, it's free stuff. Just take
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Pretty much.
We'll move on to everyone's favorite section, where the Helioptile is Pokemon sleep. Just silence. Just silence.
I
Well,
mean, it's here. It's something's coming. I saw. I mean, like I said, there's been little to nothing going on, and now there's actually rumblings of something going on.
yeah. So I think you alerted me to this, but it was the fact that um there was some tests run on one of the websites that the Pokemon Company uses, and is this an indication now that they're getting ready to promote Pokemon Sleep, launch Pokemon Sleep? What's happening? Is Pokemon Sleep finally among us?
I mean, it's more than we've had.
Yeah, yeah. The fact that we've had like 50, 51 episodes at this point, and this might be the first time we've actually got news on Pokemon Sleep. It's insane, and I'm very excited.
Like I said, the idea of catching Pokemon when you sleep. I mean, the big. Let's look at a bigger picture. Obviously, with the Pokemon brand, obviously it's a video game, it's cards, it's merch. The idea of having an app that's actually trying to help you sleep better, giving rewards for trying to sleep better, sleeping at more different, at reasonable times and stuff. Um, that's good. There's a lot of kids now that are playing these games, and can you imagine? It's like you as a parent. I mean, I'm a parent, so it's like, hey, if you go to sleep at 9 o'clock tonight and you make sure you try to sleep throughout the whole night, you might catch a really cool Pokemon when you wake up. Isn't that awesome? That's an incentive. The idea of doing having healthier habits in life and you get rewarded for it is good.
I've got one question for you, Andrew.
What's up?
Do Pokemon trainers dream of electric Mareep?
Uh,
That's the riff of the classic phrase. Do androids dream of electric sheep? I couldn't help it.
no, it's good.
But no,
That's
you're totally
very
right,
good.
and I think Kessel Winks, who appeared let Kes Hest let Kes guest, there we go, who appeared on one of the PokeRamble episodes previously. He was talking about Pokemon Smile and how he got his daughters into it, but eventually he became the Pokemon Smile Master, where he actually kept up with it and caught all 151 Pokemon in that game.
Oh,
Have you had any
wow.
experience with Pokemon Smile at all before we move on?
No,
No.
I totally forgot about it. Like I thought it was an interesting concept.
Yeah.
And I do remember some of my online friends who were like, yeah, I do it. Just it's one, like I said, it goes back to promoting healthy habits. If you can gamify healthy habits, that's a plus for everybody
Oh
involved.
mate, I'm just waiting for that Pokemon exercise game. I cannot wait for it. I need it now more than ever. God.
I mean, that was a good thing with Pokemon Go. It made everybody go outside and walk around.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can get something along those lines, I mean, you remember back in the day, we had the Pocket Pikachu, that had like the
Oh, this.
Poke Tracker
Yeah,
on
yeah,
there,
yeah, yeah. I remember. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and you had the little Pokeball that came with Pokemon Soul Silver and Heart Gold.
The Pokewalker. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, the
You
Pokewalker.
could take your
If we
Pokemon
can,
out and like step out, and like the more you walk, you could get levels for your Pokemon as well. That was crazy.
so like that, so like to me, I mean, think about when you look at it in terms of a bigger picture. You have Switch, you have the the Switch game that you actually get the exercise band, and it makes you like
Oh, we fit.
it's like
Not we fit.
yeah,
Sorry, Ring Fit Trainer.
a Ring Fit Trainer. Yeah, if you can do that with Pokemon, where it's like, all right, if you walk, a certain amount of steps in a day, your Pokemon's gonna get a level up, and you can either transfer that Pokemon to the game, or just have a Pokemon,
I think they've
capturing
got that
thing.
with the Pokeball and Let's Go. I can't remember how exactly that worked, but you could walk with your Pokemon outside and it would make noises sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, I tried it once, but it's
Yeah.
like
No,
the
officer, I didn't
idea of
kidnap a Pokemon, I promise.
yeah, it's more or less just like since it's just a ball and it's like not a screen you
It's
can
not very
see.
interactive, yeah. Yeah, I see what you
Yeah,
mean.
it's just like and then the thing's going off in the middle of like work or class or whatever. That's never a good thing. So it's like having it if they can make it into an app where it's like, okay, cool. If I walk with my Pikachu, I can get items and maybe it interacts with different games or maybe it
Mm.
doesn't. Like I
I
said,
just love the idea of like indoor stuff as well, just not having to go
yeah.
out. You know what? For example, this pandemic, if we had like a Pokemon, um, a Pokemon game like I keep saying Wii Fit Trainer, but it's Ring Fit Adventure. Sorry,
Hmm.
if we had something on that ilk, man, I oh,
Yeah.
oh
We'd all
I
be
fear for
buzzwolves, you
yeah
know?
that there it is Buzzwold. Best pun of the podcast. End it now. Just no, we can't end it now. But we'll move on to our next section, our last section of the show, which is the unknown fact of the week with me. Yeah. So this week's unknown fact comes by way of Reddit. I stupidly forgot to put the person's name in there. But if you just type in fact in the Pokemon subreddit, you should be able to find it. It's fact day 190. So apparently Gen 1 was planned to have 190 Pokemon. However, due to a technical limitation of the time, some of them had to be cut and eventually became Gen 2. The more you know. The more you know. That's it, Mecha. That's the fact.
I mean, isn't that the case with every game though? Every game, there's always something where it's like, oh, if we had more time, or like,
I think it's the
it's
fact that
just
they just didn't have the space. They just literally couldn't. They couldn't add
fit that
anything more.
many.
Yeah, because if you remember, there was that story of Iwata. God bless his soul, but he's literally the reason why we have Kanto in Gen 2, because he found a way of like mitigating that sort of like space and being able to add a whole extra region to the game to this day, which hasn't been replicated by choice, obviously.
No.
But like, he was a genius. The fact that he could, surpass that limit and add another region to the game is crazy. So I just thought that's a cool fact. It was a fact.
Oh
It's an
yeah.
unknown
No,
fact
it's
of the week.
hey,
It's
unknown
free.
facts don't have to be pretty. They
Yeah.
don't have to be, flashy. They could just be some stone cold facts. And
Listen,
that's literally what it is.
whether it be Gen 1, whether it be Gen 2, Gen 8, Gen 6, whatever generation is, one rule always applies. Don't fuckle with the shuckle. Alright? That's all I have to say on the
Hmm.
subject. So yeah, that has been another episode of the PokeRamble Podcast. I thought this would only run for about 20 minutes, but hey, it's been a great episode. I've enjoyed myself. Have you enjoyed yourself? You don't have to say
I do,
yes.
but I do have a question for you, Kumail.
Go and hit me.
And I did this the last time. I bring my own question to a
Okay,
podcast.
this is the part of the show where it's called Mecha's got a question for Kumail.
Yeah, like for Kumail, yes. So the last time I was a guest on the show. Like I said, had a great time.
I'm
I had a great
extremely
time today.
nervous.
The last time I said was, what type of gym trainer would you be? I said dark.
Mhm.
And it was a very interesting discussion. That was with Ahmed as well. This time, what I want to know from you, Kumail, and I'll go first, obviously,
Who would I marry?
is no. Which Pokemon
Yeah.
did you originally not like that grew on you in different generations?
Oh Christ.
Now, for me, it was Scizor. When Scizor first came out, even though it was very strong, it was still very weak because there's a lot of people who ran fire type Pokemon or had a fire type move with like a fire punch or something like that. So Scizor would get knocked down very, very quickly. And I was like, oh man, Scizor looks so cool. The design was amazing. It was one of the few steel types in the second gen. It was awesome. But I didn't like Scizor because I was like, I can get one shotted by any type of fire move real quickly.
Yeah.
Now, as I grew up and I started watching different content, I do watch some YouTube channels where they do different type of Pokemon challenges where it's like, hey, can you beat Gen 3 without ever healing? Or can you beat, Gen 4 with just one Pokemon? It made me see Pokemon in a different light in terms of what they can do, what their possibilities are. Um, so it made me like Scizor a lot because Scizor is a very strong Pokemon. You do some sword dance moves on there, get its attack up, it has a really good speed, and it can start one-shotting everything before you even worry about the whole fire disadvantage.
As a tank, I mean, Scizor Gen 6 was really good, but especially Mega Scizor when that was introduced, it was just such a good Pokemon to use.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, that's That's a tough question. I mean, I think in one aspect it would probably be Vanillish, the Vanish line, because obviously at first I was on the bandwagon with everyone else like it's just a bloody ice cream, and then I think as I sort of like thought more about it and whatnot, I came to the conclusion, and I think this was confirmed by the anime recently, that whilst in our world, we recognize that as an ice cream, in the Pokemon world, an ice cream was based off Vanillish, like the design of Vanillish in the Pokemon world led to ice cream being the shape it is in the Pokemon world. So then I have to separate myself from my world and immerse myself in the Pokemon world and think to myself, okay, ice cream in this world was based off the Pokemon, not the other way around, where the Pokemon was based off the ice cream. So I think that helped me like the Vanillish line a lot more. And I guess in like the in Smogon, like in the the RUs, the NUs, it was quite a powerful Pokemon with Hail and Blizzard, where it can knock out most of the tier. So that helped. And the other one probably is Bidoof, because I didn't hate it, but I didn't. It was just Bidoof. But now I just love Bidoof. And I guess part of it is due to brainwashing, probably.
But all the memes.
Yeah, I just like Bidoof's quite a cool Pokemon when you think about it. He puts in the finest of work. Whenever you need to get somewhere, Bidoof is like the Uber of Pokemon. He'll just get you to places.
Hey, sometimes you just gotta get somewhere.
Exactly, exactly. So yeah, no, I'd probably say for probably the finish line for that reason, and then also, not necessarily dislike, but yeah, Bidoof is pretty cool.
I do have one other thing.
All right.
And it's about the Pokemon celebrations, the trading card stuff.
Oh, okay. Is this good news, bad news?
No, it's good news.
Okay.
It's for me. I'll start my a little history about Pokemon cards. Kumail, you already know it because I talk to you almost every day.
Yeah.
More or less, during this pandemic, Pokemon card openings and selling and buying have been increased tenfold, pretty much.
Yeah.
With scarcity, people have seen the videos of people at WalMarts in the States
with guns,
with guns fighting each other over getting these booster boxes and stuff. So during this pandemic, I was able to get my hands back on my old trading cards and everything like that, and I started getting back into it. One thing I learned was that my fiance, her mother had threw out her cards when she was young, so she didn't have her collection anymore, which was very sad. So what I started doing was I took every duplicate that I had, I got her her own binder, and created a collection for her. So she has her own collection now, which she loves. And then what we've been doing as like our own like little like like date night stuff is like getting cards. And then what we did, and I have a YouTube video up as well on my YouTube, showing my jumbo card collection, because there's like these jumbo cards that they've been releasing for years now that I never realized until now. And
they usually come with like promos, boxes, and stuff like that.
That would be either boxes or events. Like there's some GameStop ones where you can get only if you buy something at GameStop. And then the most recent thing that came out is Evolving Skies, which had a lot of, like, everyone was opening. It had everyone loves Eevee and the Evolutions, and it had all of them. So everyone was buying that, and then my fiance and I were pulling on that. And then Celebrations has been interesting. I have a local card shop that I usually buy stuff from, but I'm in a Discord as well, in which people go back and forth saying like, hey, because we all live in the same area. They're like, hey, in this town, this Target has this, and then oh yeah, for some reason this factory and this factory store has Pokemon celebrations, and they're like actually at market price. So it's like it's been interesting opening some of these cards, because with the Pokemon celebrations 25th anniversary booster collection, it's Pokemon. They're re-releasing Pokemon cards from all the different trading card sets. So it's like it's interesting for me to be like, hey, I got this Blastoise that was originally from the original base set, and I actually had a Blastoise from the original base set. So it's actually cool that one, people are able to pull on these cards now, because obviously pulling on a regular base set booster box now is like hundreds and hundreds of dollars to actually buy nowadays.
Mm.
Um, and two, it's just cool as a whole to open Pokemon cards. I mean, think about it. I'm 33 right now. You know, it was like 25 years ago when all this stuff actually started, and I was playing this stuff as a kid. And now I'm, opening stuff and creating a collection for my kid to have when I get older. Um, as a whole, it's been interesting. I mean, it sucks that some of these people are, buying all these collections and then just to sell them on eBay. I mean, that's everything with consoles and everything like that, and it sucks because there's some people who want to open stuff for their kids and they can't because it's just way too
Oh,
expensive.
don't remind me of the Build-A-Bear scandal. Yeah, just
Oh yeah,
yeah. Oh,
it's like it sucks for that kind of stuff, and I'm always like saddened to hear that because I can only imagine if my kid was really into Pokemon and wanted to buy open some packs, and I'm just like, oh, I don't want to pay double the price for this booster box. It's insane, especially nowadays. 'Cause think about it, we're still in a pandemic, everybody. There's still crazy things going on. Um, so it's like I just wanted to touch on that a little bit because overall it's been good. I've been watching some of my favorite creators open Pokemon cards. Was literally messaging somebody in the KF community about trading some stuff because I had an extra Venusaur
you want to
and they
give him a
wanted.
shout out whilst you're here?
Bone Jangles.
Oh, Boney
He does a lot of
Jangles.
he does a lot. Actually, real life name is not Bone Jangles. I don't know if you knew that.
I,
Uh,
I might have had an inkling, but
but it's been fun being in the world of Pokemon trading cards
Hmm.
and the overall because, like I said, obviously you and I have talked about a lot of different things. Um, you got to see you said you've seen some of my collections when I first had them. We've been on late night Discord calls, just uh, checking out all the stuff.
Yeah.
But it's just nice to have that kind of stuff there. Um, and then, like I said, it's a good as a whole for everybody because the coolest thing that I've seen at my local card shop is a parent coming with their kid and then they're saying, hey, look, these are the Pokemon that I used to catch back in the day, and then they're buying new cards and then they're opening together and seeing what they get, and it's like it's a cool exciting time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's nice having people that I can share my hobby with. So just imagining being able to share that hobby with my own child and stuff like that. It just must be one of the coolest things in the world. Yeah, talking of coolest things in the world, Andrew, thank you very much for joining us.
No, thanks
Um,
so much. Like I said, I love being on this show because one, I think, like I said, I've been listening for a while. You do a lot of good work here in the Discord with people. You're always there to help when it comes to anything Pokemon Masters related or just anything Pokemon related. Like
yeah,
you're
if
known
you have any
as.
problems in life, do not bother me. I'm just joking.
I mean, I like I said, I've been in different Discords and different streams where if anything Pokemon related comes up, they'll be like, "Oh, where's Kumail? Is Kumail here? I need someone to verify this."
It's nice. Thank you.
Yeah. So like I said, I literally heard that the other day in Caesar's stream.
Oh,
He was
he
like,
was
"Where's
playing Fortnite,
Kumail?"
wasn't he?
Yeah, he
I
was
was,
playing
of
Fortnite.
course,
Yeah.
I was lurking, so I didn't hear it. Brilliant. But,
but
yeah,
but more or less, like I said, I love being on the show because I don't get to talk about this with a lot of people, especially for an hour,
yeah.
an hour long
Was
conversation.
not expecting that. There we are. It's been
So
fun. Yeah.
it's like I said, it's always for me. I think it's always the case because, like I said, I listen to the show, or listen plus watch the show. Because I love you, I love Amit and stuff. So it's like it's just more or less to me. It feels like talking with friends, but it's like it's a guided talk.
No, thank you. Um, and I will say, thank you very. I did just bring this up on you like a couple of days ago. In fact, I think it was yesterday, wasn't it? But I was just like, hey, are you available on Sunday to talk about Pokemon Masters? Because guess what, Mr. Mecha Shadow, you have now become one of the the sort of guides I will rely on for Pokemon Masters talk and whatnot. And yeah, when I was thinking, who can I talk to about Pokemon Masters with at a decent level, I thought straight away, you know,
Yeah.
Andrew's there. So no, thank you again for like filling in, and this one obviously won't be the last time you're on the show. But yeah, no, we'll make an
Oh,
effort of it getting you back on. And also, you were talking about your Pokemon trading card collection. You also have a YouTube channel, which I'll put in the description. But do you want to just describe what you have on your YouTube channel?
well, I mean, I don't have a lot. It's like I'm not a content creator
Hey
like
guys,
a lot
Mecha
of.
Shadow 2 here, and I'm just
What's
showing
up,
off my
everybody? It's.
Charizard.
I mean, like I said, I can always put on my best Snowbike mic impression. What's going on, everybody?
Yeah.
I can, but more or less, I noticed that whenever I started talking about these jumbo cards, people just like seeing collections of Pokemon cards as a whole.
Mhm.
So then what I was like, I made like a private unlisted video on my YouTube. Like I said, I'm Mecha Shadow 12 everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. Um, I noticed that a lot of people just like seeing collections. And like what I did was one day I took my collection to the local card shop, and the guy, the owner, he was like, "This is such a cool idea where you're getting the jumbo and you're getting the regular card and putting in the same sleeve so you can see the difference, in the size and just more or less how everything looks." So once I started talking with them, more and more people were like, "Oh man, I really want to see it." So I was like, "All right, let me just make a YouTube video of it." I got like a little cell phone stand that we use for like if you want to like use your cell phone in bed without having to hold it. I put it on my desk, I put the light on it, and then I just more or less copy whatever I would see on different, box opening things. I'm like, okay, here's the card collection. Like if you, like I said, if you want to see some of the newer jumbo starter cards that have come out in the 25-year anniversary, or some of the older ones, because like I said, that goes back into when the trading card collections first started. Check out the YouTube channel. Like I said, Mecha Shadow 12. Um, uh, just to see, it's fun. It's fun to look at these things because like just to see a giant Pokemon card in general is hilarious to me.
Exactly. And before I let you go, what is your favorite jumbo card out of the lot?
They're so like the cool thing about the jumbo cards is that with the different generations, quote unquote, um they have such different art styles. Just like all the different trading cards have different art styles, especially with the ones at the beginning. Um to me, see, the Mewtwo one is pretty cool. Um let's see, the Alolan Raichu. There's so many of them. It's crazy. I think I might like um the the Mewtwo one because he's coming out of the card. It's all like 3D graphic. The whole card is purple and gold compared to like regular Pokemon cards. And then obviously Mewtwo's just a cool Pokemon, so to
Mm.
have that type of art is just amazing. But like I said, some of these cards, just like even just to look at them from the various different years, like yeah, the tag team ones, you have GX, you have VMAX. Like they recently had the Snorlax VMAX ones as a promotion at GameStop. So it's just a giant Snorlax with the island on his stomach as an actual card. It's like it's just so cool to see these things, and it's just like to me having these tiny cards as jumbo things is just hilarious.
I I've never been able to find a use for my jumbo cards, but your sort of way of utilizing them has given me ideas for them. But yeah, I always wondered why they had. I think in the US as well, they used to have, instead of jumbo cards, they used to have figures. And for some reason in the European Union, we didn't get the figures, but we got the jumbo cards. It just didn't make any sense to me. But I'm warming up to the idea now based on what you've been doing with yours. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been good because like I said, I'm trying like the 25th anniversary. The cool thing about the 25th anniversary is they made it so you got jumbo cards of every one of the starters, and it comes with two booster packs as well. So if you want to open booster packs, you get that as well. It's like a $10 thing. You can find them at regular stores, 'cause not everyone's buying them, like a Target or whatever. And then what I've been trying to do is match the original regular card from that actual generation to the big one. And since I still have some base set ones, they actually made the giant ones for the Kanto starters, the actual original base set ones. So I have the original card with it from 25 years ago.
Damn,
Yeah, with the
that's a
actual,
flex. That is a flex.
yeah. Um, so what I'm trying to do now is match it with the rest of the starters. So that's
Mm.
my next like hunt. I'm hoping that a bunch of the people in my local shop have it because they're all common cards, all the starter ones. So I'm hoping everyone has like duplicates of them so I can trade them for like something else.
Well, I'm going to call it there. You can check out Mecha Shadow 12, Andrew, on the socials. You can also see his unlisted YouTube video in the comment section, not comment section, sorry, description of this video. And yeah, until next time, I've been Kumail, and he's been.
I've been Andrew.
Yeah, he's been Andrew. We'll catch you next time for another episode of the PokeRamble Podcast. Pokemon Sleep soon come.
Bye.
Bye.